One Hope Ministries is about connecting needy people to Jesus and about helping people who already know him to get involved in reaching out. In 2001, we began doing prayer gatherings, organizing multi-church prayer gatherings. And in 2007, we started doing outreach to some needy communities in Leesburg, just doing something simple like passing out bread and baked goods to people who would come by our truck, which was loaded with baked goods that we pick up from Wegmans. And that turned out to be a very effective way to begin to build relationships, build some bridges. And because we got next to that community, we realized what needs we were next to. A lot of kids with no dads, a lot of really hurting people, and so we ultimately wound up realizing that a ministry to reach the kids would be a great way to connect with this community. And so we began doing Heritage Kids Club. And that's essentially bringing a vacation Bible school program right to the kids where they live. We're not asking them to drive across town to a church where maybe they feel like they wouldn't fit socially or they wouldn't have transportation or might not get their parents' permission. We wanted to do something really close to where they lived. Another key part of One Hope Ministries is the ministry that we've come to call Hope Events, specifically Hope for Leesburg. We've done 2 Hope for Leesburgs, and they're just right out there outreaches. We put up a tent. We bring in local people, pastors, leaders who can clearly communicate the gospel, and we communicate the gospel, and we also believe the Lord to confirm his word with signs and wonders. It's our conviction that that never should have become an optional aspect of the communication of the gospel, and it was always meant by God to be a supernatural touch on what we were asking people to believe, because everybody out there's got something that they think you ought to believe. But what if yours has supernatural manifestations, healings, accompanying, and miracles accompanying the things that you're telling them? Now God has stepped into the picture and done something wonderful and different that some philosophy or ideology can't duplicate. So that's the 3 components of our strategy: Hope Events, Heritage Kids Club, and bread distribution as a way of connecting with people. You might ask yourself the question, or some might ask the question, aren't local churches already doing that? And why, Bill, do you feel that you needed to start One Hope Ministries to do something that really could have been done inside or as an aspect of the ministry of what we would call a local church? And my response to that is that I think that the biblical paradigm for local church is that the church in a region is the local church, the church in your town where you live, the church that's close enough for people to be able to connect with each other geographically, and it's not a big long drive, and they're your neighbors. And we think that it's not really a biblical paradigm for there to be a church on every street corner, some of whom don't even talk to each other. And so we see ourselves as in a biblical paradigm, not outside of quote unquote local church. And we also think that in and of itself, when we can have Christians from different churches working together, we think that in and of itself is a testimony to people that something's different about these people. They actually can get along, even though they're all different shapes, sizes, colors, nationalities, social origin or social strata. They seem to get along like family. And in fact, that's exactly what Jesus said in John chapter 17. He said that they all might be one, that the world would know that I sent, that the Father sent me. So that's something that we think is critical, and that's a big part of what we do.